Hello, everyone.
Caleb, welcome the fuck back.
It's been a minute.
It has.
Country's burning.
Where's burning right now?
I don't know. I mean, everybody's going nuts.
Keep hearing about all that, but like, hasn't affected our cities.
I think that Memphis, because Memphis never really, when this stuff happens, like there's never really rioting here, which is always kind of like, I feel like most people I know are surprised by that.
Yeah.
And I think it's honestly because Memphis is so integrated. Like there's not a whole lot of parts of Memphis where you go where it's just all white or all black.
Yeah.
Like it's very integrated all around, and I think it's harder to play people on each other when they're around each other all the time.
All the time.
Because I never have any kind of negative interaction with anybody of a different race.
No.
Ever.
Mm-mm.
Like everybody's pleasant to me, I'm pleasant to them.
Yeah.
And I don't ever see anybody having an interaction. And I think I wonder if the places where they riot, and well, I mean, I know the riots are artificial at some point, but like, I wonder if some of these other cities, it's easier because it's more segregated. Not obviously by law, but self-segregated,
right,
you know?
It's a good observation. I mean, that could definitely be the case. Because, I mean, yeah, me and Caleb were talking about that yesterday. Like, man, we interact with black people all the time, and it's always pleasant. Like, it's always a good...
Yeah.
It's almost like the shit on the media is not even happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not... Neither party is falling for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Caleb said, he goes, who I hate are the 18, 19, 20-year-old white kids.
Amen.
They fucking suck.
Yeah.
I see them, I'm just like, fucking A, really?
Hit them with a baseball bat. Yeah.
They're little douchebags, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's all that damn privilege.
All of them, but yeah, full of privilege.
Did you guys see that they're starting to censor? And this is exactly why I've gotten all these fucking hard copies of everything. Like, they're starting to censor different stuff that's on streaming platforms now,
really?
Like shows and movies. The first time I saw it was, did I tell you guys about this, about the John Wayne movie?
I don't know.
So it was like,
you mentioned something, but I can't remember exactly.
4 or 5 years ago, I was in St. Louis, my parents for Thanksgiving, and Tim was there, and Tim loves John Wayne. My dad loves John Wayne. They just had
Who doesn't?
I mean, yeah. So they just had it on TV or whatever, and I don't even remember what movie it was because I've never really watched much of his stuff.
Big Jake.
Get out.
Maybe, but there was this one scene, and I'm just watching, and I got no idea anything's happening, and Tim loses his mind. He's like, they just cut that out. They cut that out. And, like, so it was some scene where they're trying to sneak by somebody at night, and one of them, like, they grab this, like, shawl off a horse and, like, take, like, a dinner plate and put it on their head, and he walks by, like, making, like, stereotypical...
It's, I think it's Dean Martin that
does
it, and
that.
I think that's Desperado. Maybe was that movie?
Really?
Yeah, that scene is great.
And he walks by
hilarious.
doing that or whatever.
Yeah.
Completely cut it out. Like he had to pull it up on YouTube and show me the actual scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
So even on like streaming sites like Netflix or Hulu or something like that, they're cutting certain things out.
So now, Netflix, I believe, has The Office through the end of this year, and then next year it goes to some other thing I've never heard of.
Yeah,
so they
something like doesn't. What did The Office air on originally?
NBC, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was NBC.
Like, are they not doing their own streaming thing and they're taking?
No, this was some. I don't know what the name of it is, but it was a completely like foreign thing to me.
Okay.
And so, anyway, do you guys remember the episode towards the end of it where they're doing like Dwight's Christmas and he's Belschnickel?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Okay. So there's this one scene in it where they're like asking him about Belschnickel and he's dressed up like it and he goes and he has this like he starts telling him about his sidekick, which is like this guy. It's this guy in blackface and like pantaloons or whatever, and he's got that Nate guy. Like he's telling him about it, and everybody in the office freaks out. It's like, no, you can't do that. Yeah. And then he turns around and makes a call, and you just see Nate look at his phone and turn around. He's in blackface, and he just turns around and walks back. It's hilarious. Anyway, they completely cut that out now. If you watch it on Netflix, it's not there, and the next whoever's picking it up, that other streaming service said they won't have it on there either.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, they were they were saying that
Yeah.
you couldn't do it.
They were
Like,
pointing
turn
out that it was
around.
offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell? Yeah, I guess.
That way, people don't know that it's wrong, and they'll just do it. You know,
Right.
I guess they want people to be more racist.
Listen, I think
That's
they're
for
on
sure.
Jimmy Kimmel for that too, because he dressed
Yeah.
up in blackface as
They
Charles
finally-
Barkley.
They finally got onto him for it.
Yeah,
And Karl Malone.
yeah.
I mean, they're hilarious bits. You know, like it's like one of those where when you're doing something like that, in my opinion, I don't think it's offensive. I
No.
mean, if someone's offended by it, then get over it. Like, you're not gonna die.
Yeah.
It's for the sake of comedy. It's a joke. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
And it's not making you're not making fun of the race. You're making fun of that person.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Who's a mega millionaire star.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, they weren't an oppressed person
yeah,
in any way.
No.
yeah.
So what's the issue here?
But like I hate when people get attacked for stuff like that. But I'm kind of like glad that they're finally attacking Jimmy Kimmel
Yeah.
for it, because it's like
Because he attacks everybody.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a taste of his own medicine,
Including
like,
children. No,
I'll
I don't
give
know
you-
if that's true or not, but
No,
it's probably true.
yeah.
Listen, have you guys heard what the sports, all the leagues are doing for this stuff?
I've heard different things from people. I don't know. I haven't heard. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but
Yeah, so I mean they're all just kind of going nuts with the stuff.
yeah,
So the NBA is doing they're putting Black Lives Matter on all the courts, and then they're also allowing the players to put approved social justice messaging on the back of instead of their name on the back of their jersey. And so here, I'll pull it up while we're talking about it. So they'll have all of that stuff. I cannot wait to see what happens, and if their viewership, it's got to go down.
No, of course it will.
Because you're just sick. I
People, regardless of where you stand on either side, people don't go to watch sports to get a fucking political message.
No.
They never have. They never will. If you turn it into that, you will lose viewers on both sides. Because fuck off. We just want to watch guys put a basketball through a fucking hoop.
Sure.
Or we want to watch guys throw a fucking football and get a touchdown.
but
that's it.
I bet what all that's about is Trump's gonna come on and say something very similar to what you just said, because it's very true.
Sure.
And it's gonna just most people are gonna be like, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's just gonna put a few more people that are gonna go vote for him this year instead of the other one.
Well, I mean, who's the lesser of two evils? Don't we have to pick between evil?
So yeah, they my thing with it is I refuse to watch some multi-millionaire that has tons of money, people worship him, he's famous, any woman he wants, hanging out with literal kings if he wants to.
Yeah.
Sit up there and talk about how oppressed he is. I'm
Yeah.
just not doing that.
No.
I have no interest in it. I enjoy watching sports and would keep doing it. I kept doing it before in spite of the liberal shit, because ESPN is liberal as hell, and they have been. But it used to be you could turn on the sporting event and it was fine. Even the commentators, they're not saying anything.
No.
They're talking about what's happening on the court.
on the court. Yeah.
So, you put up with it prior to that, but now it's getting to the point where I will not just sit there as entertainment and be lectured to
No.
about something I didn't do.
Right.
Yeah. So the approved statements they can put on there are obviously Black Lives Matter. They can say their name, vote, I can't breathe, obviously, justice, peace, equality, freedom, enough, power to the people, justice now, say her name. Have there been a lot of women shot?
Well, I mean, there was a few. Yeah.
Yeah.
There were a few different, starting with Sandra Bland, I think, and then there was a few others.
Yeah. Si se puede. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. Liberation.
Get woke, dude.
Do you know what it is?
No. I'm staying asleep.
See us, hear us, respect us, love us. That's appropriate. Love us. That's what they want. Listen to us. Stand up. Ally. Anti-racist. I am a man. Speak up. How many more? Group economics. What the fuck?
That's what I would put on my jersey.
Yeah.
Group economics, everybody.
Yeah.
Remember that shit.
Yeah. I think that's fucking. I think it's Marxism. I guess that's what it sounds like. I don't know what the hell. I gotta look that up. Education reform or mentor. Like, it's just hilarious. But somebody made a comment. They were like, because the NBA gets a ton of money from China. Apparently, they have sponsors. They play games over there, but they're making a lot of their money from that. And somebody put on there, no, this person tweeted, "No free Hong Kong or free Uyghur Muslims, but hey, NBA promotes group economics now." It was just hilarious. Like, I had people saying nobody says free Hong Kong because they know, because I don't know if y'all know this, but one of the players said something, like, came out in public and was like, what China's doing to Hong Kong is fucked. You remember all those protests where they were like singing our national anthem and flying or whatever because China was fucking with them or whatever. And somebody came out and like really stood up against it, and like so many of the players got pissed and were like, "You're fucking with our money. If China pulls out, we're gonna lose all this money." And you're just like, guys,
how in the world have we fucking let China infiltrate our country the way that they have? They basically run the fucking medical fields, and now they run sports too. What else do they have their hands in?
A lot.
It's fucking crazy.
They found like little tiny. They had some contract. Some Chinese company had a contract with a private organization that had a contract with the military and the government, and they were making. This Chinese company was making. They were like assembling this technology that this other company had made, and they like broke down and they had a huge contract and put this technology in like big like what are they fucking called, aircraft carrier, like the ships and stuff. It was like used in that kind of thing, and different like high levels. Like, I don't remember exactly what the technology was, but it was something that the military was interested in, and they put it in every aspect that they could. They used it in every way they could. And then they found these tiny little microchips that were added into the board that were collecting and gathering all of the data and everything. And we're like, they've been spying on us for
They found that in cell phones that we were buying over here.
Yeah.
Too. I don't know about the aircraft carrier stuff, but I remember reading that about cell phones.
Yeah, and then there was like who was it? I don't remember if it was Dianne Feinstein or Nancy Pelosi. One of those people, or it was someone in the Democratic Party. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But they're like one of their long time, for like decades, someone who was just a part of their crew was like caught as being a Chinese spy. Like I think it was like last year at some point, but like, so I mean they're definitely they've been doing shit for a while.
Well,
it's crazy. Dude.
They probably infiltrate that way, but also the problem is our mindset here, because we idolize these sports stars, these actors, these whatever. We treat them like they're literal demigods, pretty much up on the stage, and like all. Think about how much money China had. Just any country, how much they could give or buy somebody for. Like, it's so easy. Yeah. Like, I mean, for them to do that, and then they're not going to say anything.
No, and then we still follow them, and they're owned by China.
Yeah. It's just, it's absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, I just, like, the whole sports thing. Like, I really wonder if they're about to burn that to the ground, thinking, because at least half the country doesn't like this. And I just heard Tim Pool saying that, like, I don't remember, I wish I was listening closer, but he basically, there was some kind of poll or something, and it was, like, the way it was worded, he was like, what this thing is basically saying is that 80% of African Americans do not want a revolution. Like, so you're just going to, I don't know, you're going to keep pushing this to the point to where nobody will.
Yeah, I think it's probably, in reality, a lot less than half that even give a shit about any of this stuff. Yeah. Like, and when you appeal to the minority like that, like, you're gonna lose a fuck ton of money, but go ahead, it's your fucking business. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do that and lose it all, you will, because people are not gonna fucking tune in.
No,
Yeah.
you've pushed
Not
it
to
too
get
far.
lectured, like you said. No one goes to watch a fucking basketball game to get lectured about how fucked up they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when the lecture is a lie, like it's not even the truth. You know what I mean? These people didn't do anything. You know, we're not oppressing anyone. We're just trying to fucking make it like everybody else is. You know what I mean? It's bullshit.
Well,
No one's gonna fight. Especially they're not gonna pay. I'm not gonna pay to fucking go to a game. You know what I mean? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
the NFL is, before the week 1 games, before they play the Star Spangled Banner, they're playing the Black National Anthem.
the fuck is
I don't
that?
even know what the hell that is. And I would bet before they said that, no one knew what that was. There was probably 5 people in the damn country that knew what the hell
I
that
heard
was.
something like I read something about that the other day, but I was just like, what is that?
It's the
Is it
song
like,
is "Lift Every Voice and Sing."
I was thinking it was like I don't know, "Changes" by Tupac or something. You know? I don't know.
Which is a fucking great song.
Would be better than the Star Spangled Banner.
Sure.
I mean, in my opinion, personally, I don't know. I think it's a phenomenal song.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just so stupid. Like,
Just
you guys, I don't understand how they're taking us back to segregating.
Yeah.
All the black people, please rise for your national anthem. Okay, now y'all sit down, and all you white people stand up for the Star Spangled Banner. What the
fuck?
hell are we doing?
Yeah.
What the fuck is happening?
Yeah. And that, I mean, that's literally...
If people don't fucking realize that this is all by design, and they're just dividing us on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how people don't see through that.
Yeah.
Which, here's the thing, though. I think a lot of people do. Like we said a minute ago, I think it's just really a small minority
And
that's
they're
pushing this bullshit.
They're really loud on social media.
Exactly. And they're not even that loud. The problem is that the media only covers them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it looks like they're louder than they even really are.
Yeah.
Like, they're not. If the media wasn't covering it, I would not know anything about any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
Because it's not something that I come across in a day-to-day
no,
life.
it's not a part of your real life.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and I don't think that it's what real people want. And I'm not saying that some people don't want police reform, which obviously I think all of us would be on
be down
board
with
with
it. Yeah,
or whatever.
exactly.
Yeah.
But, like, there aren't people wanting to do what's happening right now. Like, y'all, obviously you guys have heard of them tearing the statues down.
Yeah.
That shit.
Right.
So I get the logic, the Confederate statues and all that stuff. They tore down Ulysses S. Grant, the fucking Union general that defeated the South.
Defeated the South and became the president.
He defeated the South. He inherited a slave and freed him, and then he became the president and used the U.S. Armed Forces to enforce civil rights.
Yeah,
So-
he went in and like fucked up the KKK in one town with it was like basically martial law that he instituted and sent the military in.
Yeah.
That was like a town where the KKK was just fucking people up left and right, and he went in and just wiped them out,
Demolished
cleared
them.
them out, and took care of the
Why
problem.
would you
Yeah.
take that man's statue down?
Tore it down. Like, it's because it's not about this.
Yeah.
It's about tearing down every semblance of our society, our history, or whatever. Tore down in Portland a statue of a fucking elk. What
Because,
the hell?
Fuck elk.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been oppressing blacks for as long as I can remember, so we got to get them out.
Call up your people in Portland, see why they did that.
Dude. Yeah.
Just text them and be like, what the fuck with the elk, man? like what are you guys doing up there?
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't.
yeah, it's wild, man. I don't.
Listen, I don't know. Y'all probably don't remember it because I'm sure, like, I barely remember this. And you remember Occupy Wall Street, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, sort of.
Most of the reason I paid attention to it, because I really wasn't into politics all that much then, but it was right when me and Katie got married, and we went...
What year was that, if you don't mind?
2011?
Okay.
Yeah. So it may have been in 2012-ish. I think it was right before Obama was elected or whatever.
Okay.
Is that right?
That was his
the
second
term, yeah.
yeah.
But I know that there were protests because we went to New Orleans. We were going on a cruise and leaving out of New Orleans, and we get to New Orleans, and like we're staying at this, like, there's this park and then our hotel is like right on this park, and our window's looking out at it. And I mean, it's just like everybody's set up with this Occupy Wall Street stuff. Now it was in New Orleans, but it was those same protests or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, when that happened, they were I think it was in New York. That one, there was a protest, and the protesters like swarmed into a bank, which was a big deal. Obviously, they're going to come with the big guns when you do that.
Yeah.
And so it turns out what happened there is like none of the people, when they all obviously got arrested, and they, they'll let you riot, but you walk into a federal bank and see what happens.
Yeah.
And like, so they walk in there, and they weren't even rioting. It was just like a protest or whatever. But then they came down hard on them, and interviewing the people, nobody knew why the hell they were in there. And it's because one guy basically took over the front of the crowd just because everybody was looking for somebody to follow, and he marched and he brought them into the bank, and then before the police and then like stirred them up, and before the police got there, he ran.
Yeah.
So like he was out of there. Nobody knows who that dude was, but there's
always that guy at all of these events. It seems
I bet
like
that's
stirring shit up,
Yeah.
Starting the fires, getting people riled up. It seems like.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just there's always some douchebag around that wants to cause trouble.
Could be, but it seems, more likely that it's a planned scenario. But I mean, that's the way all types. I mean, you could take that even to like just like shows we used to go to, right? Like pits don't start until one guy fucking starts it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's always some weird fucker that's like, all right, leader of this weird shit. But in these situations, I think it's probably by design. Like they send a guy in, they're like, look, you need to get them riled up, start a fire, and then it'll take its course after that.
I mean, like I didn't like look hard into this, but the very first fire in Minneapolis when all this shit broke off or whatever, was supposedly a police officer who started it.
Yeah.
Like there was apparently like statements from his wife,
right,
saying that she recognized him and was like, yeah, it was like his ex-wife, and she was like, that looks like him, that's my gas mask.
Yeah.
Like, and so it's like that shit's weird to me, and
it
could have been just some fucking
could be
bullshit, some
could
propaganda from one angle or the other, but
who knows. But I mean,
like with groups like Antifa and Black Lives Matter, there are people who are in those groups who go to those protests and rallies and things that are just following the message, that believe the ideology, and that's fine. But I think I'm not going to say the majority or minority, I don't know, but there are definitely people in those groups, and they're controlled, that they don't believe that shit. That's not the message is not what the point of the group is.
Yeah, kind of like Antifa are fascists.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like they're running around being fucking fascists. And saying we're anti-fascists.
Yeah. Have you seen the videos of some of the Black Lives Matters like leaders talking about how they're trained Marxists?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. That's what they are.
I mean, like
the most of the people, like, I get why a lot of people in the black community would be like, and get on board. Like, I get it.
I mean, I get why.
Totally get it.
Most people would. Like 99% of people.
But the reality of it is that it's
Black
not
Lives
about
Matter.
Exactly. Like that's something that we've all fucking. Of course. Duh.
Like no shit.
No shit. Exactly. Like we all fucking know that. Everybody's life fucking matters. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. But the point is that the leaders of the movement are all Marxists.
Yeah.
And a lot of the followers are not. And it's funny. Like I watched a comedy video of a black guy that put together, and he's like, when you think that the movement is one thing or something like that, and he's like, he put a video together and he was just like screaming like Black Lives Matter, and then they started saying some wild shit. It was kind of Marxist related, and like how they hated all white people. And so he's like, but they have the best customer service. Like, he's like, I don't hate all white people. So that's like a good representation though of like you're just your average black dude who sees and like, they are killing black people.
Yeah.
That's not a lie. Like that is the truth.
Yeah.
The lies are that they're killing them unproportionately and some other, things. But
and I mean, and that just even with from case to case, there's individual lies, that people get stirred up about and they go, oh, this person was a saint and they didn't do anything wrong, and it's like that's not true. Those weren't the facts of the event that led to the death of that person.
Right.
But like, but it's just annoying because it's.
Yeah, so what's crazy is I'm on their website right now, blacklivesmatter.com, which who the fuck is running that? Like, who is the fucking leader? Who can I look at?
Yeah, like, that's what's weird is there's, like, they're not actually registered as a charity, but they get all kinds of donations.
Do you know where the money goes? Like, if you go to hit donate, you know where it goes?
It goes to, I forgot the name of the other company, but there's another company that is their... like corporate sponsor or whatever, their financial sponsor.
No, so well,
it goes to them. It goes everything. All the money goes to them, and then they dole it out to Black Lives Matter. But they didn't dole out all the money to them that they got.
Well, on blacklivesmatter.com, you go there, and this isn't just some stupid website. This is the first thing on Google, and it's the thing that I've heard people through this whole news cycle. Like, this is their website or whatever that they're pushing. If you hit the donate button, it takes you to actblue.com, which is a direct fundraising thing for the Democratic Party. Like, so it isn't.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not like, and you can put it on here. I mean, it does not say anything here. So it says Act Blue Charities is a registered charitable organization formed to democratize charitable giving, but this is Act Blue goes directly to Democrat candidates and their thing, and so. That's one thing. Also, if you look at their mission statement, one of the things it says directly off there is, we disrupt the Western prescribed nuclear family structure requirement by supporting each other as extended families and villages that collectively care for one another, especially our children, to the degree that mothers, parents, and children are comfortable. Yes. Fuck that. Like, what does that have to do with black? So, Black Lives Matter, but not the black people that want a traditional westernized nuclear family. Fuck them, because we're disrupting that shit.
Exactly.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which I think would be the biggest destruction of the black community in the first place.
It's the biggest destruction of any community.
Of any community. You're correct. Seems to be more prevalent in the black community. I think there's statistics to back that.
And see, here's where I call out systemic racism. Is I don't think that has anything to do with African Americans' fault. I don't think that they're to blame for that. I think that it's complete. Yes, it was completely incentivized them to destroy their own families.
I literally just watched a video of Thomas Sowell debating with a white woman about this, and he was like, "You're subsidizing all of this. Like, why would they?" He said it happens with the educational system too. He goes, the schools that suck get money, and if they get better, they don't get any money. So why would they get any better?
Yeah.
And he goes, it's the same thing with the welfare system. Like, if they start doing better for themselves, you stop giving them money. Why would they stop? Why would they do anything for themselves?
Exactly.
And then she said something about like the illegitimacy rate and the fathers that leave and all that stuff. And she's like, well, I'm not making them have illegitimate children. He goes, no, but you're subsidizing it. It's like, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Exactly.
And not only that, but man, like I know personally a Democrat that I won't say their name, and they think that the statement literally has come out of their mouth that if we don't have abortion clinics, do you know how big our prisons would be full of African American people, because there were more, and this person didn't say that, but this next part, but there are more black babies aborted in New York City last year than born. And that's crazy. It just seems very so the NBA is putting on the back there this group economics and all this bull crap. Black Lives Matter is promoting literally the destruction of the family.
Yeah.
And I honestly think one of the reasons that we were talking about, it is the welfare state, because that's enabled them to do that. Mm-hmm. But it's also, I think the African American female community embraced feminism harder and before ever the other communities did.
Yeah.
And so when you have that, I don't need a man, I can do it by myself, I won't be held down, I'll do whatever I want. Oh, but I do need that from the state, you know,
Yeah.
and that
Like the
enables
perfect
them to
storm.
do
Like,
that.
they
but you can't
literally
do it.
threw the perfect
No.
storm at them. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, first of all, the welfare state subsidizes the fact that having children and not having anyone to take care of them or anything gives you more money. And then when you have no man there to take care of the whole situation, then you become the feminist that I don't need anybody, right?
Yeah.
Except the fact is that you
It's like
still need the government.
Yeah.
For
Well,
some,
it's like my sister. She doesn't need a man except when she leaves the one she was with, then she runs back to my dad. And then but she doesn't need a man. Just my dad needs to step in whenever she needs it. Or
Exactly.
me. They expect me to do it.
Yeah.
Like and so it's completely ridiculous. And I'm not saying, and obviously I think you guys agree, there are women that are fine on their own, but that is not the prescribed way to raise a child.
No.
And I don't think men should be raising children by themselves.
No.
Like,
no.
It's ridiculous, but all of this stuff seems orchestrated to keep the African American community poor, dependent. I mean, because that bull crap right there, like if that's what they're and I don't even think most of them know it, but that's what they're going after. Mm-hmm. And who wants I can't imagine who wants a society to raise their child.
Right.
The society is racist. Remember?
Right.
Why would
Why would you want them to do it? It's crazy.
It's unbelievable.
It really is. It's like, wake up, damn it.
Yeah.
They're terrified of you, and they've been attacking you in a way that you somehow buy.
Yeah.
Constantly.
And
like, stop doing what they want you to do.
And if you mean you want the society to raise your children, if you mean the black society, oh, cool. Do you want Candace Owens and Herman Cain and Ben Carson? Are those the people you want raising your kid? No, you don't, because you don't like them.
No.
So what is it? Like, and that's the whole point. Like, this stuff is the most racist shit that all black people have to think the same way.
Right.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It is, man. It really is. I don't know. That's something like, I was watching a Change My Mind video. Crowder has his faults, but I like his Change My Mind segments. But
sure.
He had a black kid on there, and the kid was like, you know, he was agreeing, like he was saying, like,
I think I saw that.
Yeah, like basically, like he was a very intelligent kid.
Yeah.
Very intelligent. He had a couple of them on. There was 2 different videos of 2 different very intelligent young black men, and he was talking about how in school, like basically he got picked on because he didn't fit the black narrative. Like he was like, I like being articulate, I like learning, and like I never fit in with black kids because they always thought I was weird.
Yeah.
Because I didn't talk the way they talked, or you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, that is a big problem. It's a big problem that black people seem to be put in this box where if you don't act a certain way, you're not black.
Yeah.
But who's pushing that?
Exactly. That's the question, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Who is
pushing that? You know, now on a base level, those individuals are pushing it, but who pushed it into their head?
Hollywood and the media,
Music,
and government.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because for some reason, the government is fucking terrified of the black community. That's what's so weird. Like, why would they be pushing these things to try to decimate them if they weren't fucking terrified of them?
Because I think part of the reason, and also that brings me to another point. That's a great question. Here's another thing from their little thing here. We foster, this is Black Lives Matter, we foster a queer affirming network. When we gather, we do so with the intention of freeing ourselves from the tight group of heteronormative thinking, or rather, the belief that all in the world are heterosexuals unless he, she, or they disclose otherwise.
What?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of the reason that they are probably more scared of that is because the average black man is more masculine in this country than a white man now.
I would agree.
They don't want that. Like, they don't want that to happen,
right?
because that's if there is to be anybody that challenges it's not going to be the soy boy up in Oregon.
No.
It's not going to be that. It's going to be somebody that is it's going to be a group of masculine men.
Yep.
And they are trying to emasculate them.
Yep.
And I think that's part of it.
That could be part of it. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, there's definitely a reason that I don't know exactly what the reason is. That could be the reason, but the government's terrified of the black community and has been for forever.
I think it might be that they're just terrified of us, the population, and so
it may be.
Any
so
chance
if you
they
can,
get to see a dividing line, they just attack and split, divide and conquer. And I mean, I don't know. Like, it just seems like, because since there was real history with blacks and whites that was horrible, they took the opportunity to try to falsely create that and say it's continuing on,
right,
and get everyone all riled up and stirred up again. And they've been, I mean, I don't know, it seems like they've been segregating black people for years with the housing projects. Like, when they started all that, they were like literally segregating people when it was, that all that shit was gone and done away with. There were those, you couldn't do that legally, but they were doing it by, they were finessing their way into doing it, and they essentially segregated almost the whole country. Yeah. We have black communities and we have white communities. Yeah. And obviously that's not the case all around. No, still, it's not. But it's not. But it's like on every level they've tried to fuck them over, and it was all on the Democratic side.
Oh, of course.
And it's like,
somehow they still buy.
This is what, like, it seems weird. It's like in the black, what most people view of the average black person, they think Republicans are racist and Democrats are looking out for them. And it's like, I'm one of the people who thinks there is no difference between Democrats and Republicans. They're the same fucking thing. And they're always working together. And
I think the politicians are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. Like, it's not people's opinions, but the actual within the government. But like, it seems like the Republicans' job is to kind of walk that line of racism out in the open, and be kind of like, say some things that are like, whoa, that seems like, they don't like us. And then the Democrats are there to help them and go, here, let me help you out by lending you a hand.
Both.
But they're reaching their hand out, and they're also putting their fucking knee on your neck. But they want to, and then they're driving that like legitimate anger that they should have, and they're turning it towards their fellow people, which would be anyone who's different from them. But we're all equal in this country. But they're turning us against each other, so that we don't turn against them. Yep. Because that's if you are the government, your biggest fear is people turning against you.
Absolutely, because we outnumber them by way. It's ridiculous. I don't know the number, but it's ridiculous. Yeah. Like, it would be over in a day. So we could take them out in no time. Yeah. If we all were on the same page, but
you have to keep the people fighting each other so they don't band together and fight you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like, in the same website with Black Lives Matter, and you heard like they're all about like, they have a lot of stuff about transgender, homosexuality. So here's what they want to focus on in 2020. Racial injustice. 2, police brutality. 3, criminal justice reform. 4, black immigration. 5, economic injustice. 6, LGBTQIA plus and human rights.
When the fuck did the IA get there?
7, environmental conditions. And then voting rights and suppression, healthcare, government corruption, education, and common sense gun laws. What the fuck do LGBTQIAQ, whatever the fuck that is, and gun laws, and why the hell? And let me ask you a question: what's the African American population in the country?
12 to 13%.
12-13%. And they see it as a largely systemic racist country. Why the fuck would they not want as many guns as they could get?
That doesn't make any sense.
No,
that's just a fucking leftist fucking...
Yeah. It's bullshit. Point. It is not about what they say it's about, or they wouldn't have all this stuff in there.
Yeah.
And whatever you think about, LGBTQ stuff, like, I don't understand why that has anything to do with this. Because I just don't...
Yeah.
I don't know what it has to do with it.
Most, and this is anecdotal, this is just my experience, but most of the black people that I've met, like the black men that I've met, are homophobic. Like, I would feel pretty confident in saying legitimately homophobic. Yeah. Not just like, oh, you know, disagree with that lifestyle. You know,
No,
that like they're like homophobic.
I would say
straight
that would be
up.
my anecdotal experiences as well.
Yeah, and so that was always the weirdest connection to me, was the Black Lives Matter and the gay community. Like, they don't like each other. I mean, like, they don't, and obviously they're gay black people. You know, I'm not saying that, but like, it seems to be like a thing.
Yeah.
In
well, it goes back to what you were saying about how you know, a lot of black males tend to be more masculine than even a lot of white males are.
Yeah.
And so therefore you're gonna have that, like,
but
masculine
it's
dudes are like, nah, fuck that, I ain't gay. You know what I mean? Like, hell
and it's
no.
like ingrained into the culture with music and
No
stuff
homo.
like that. Like like they, you know, there's, I can't think of one off the top of my head other than that, but like there's a bunch of stuff where they say things in rap songs that's like very anti-gay, and it's totally fine. No one cares. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's real weird. Like, if that doesn't show you whatever you're going for, it's been hijacked by other things. And Tim Pool was talking about, he calls it like a, I mean, he wasn't talking about that, like this website or anything, but he was talking about that it's like just become a religion of intersectionality. Mm-hmm. He's like, the way that they believe in this stuff and the way they talk about it, and it can't be questioned, is exactly the way that a religious zealot would act.
Yeah.
Like, you can't debate it, you can't talk about it, you're just wrong, and you're going to hell if you don't believe what I believe.
Yeah.
Yep. Which is crazy. I mean,
it's, how many religions do you think the government's created? They just created another one. It's nothing new for them.
Yep. True. It does seem that religion seems to be one way that they can control the masses, and it doesn't matter what type of religion it is.
Yeah.
They can use it in one way or another.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's wild, man. All of it's wild.
Did you guys hear about the couple? It was either in Michigan or Minnesota. I need to look it up so I can get that right.
Mm-hmm. You talking about the ones on the lawn? The guns?
No, that's in St. Louis.
That was in St. Louis. Yeah. Okay. Different couple.
Yes.
What were they doing?
Yeah. Let me see. Minnesota. They let me see. They were, so there was like this it was in Michigan, right? So I need to watch this video. It's out there. Definitely, if you're listening to this, fact check it, watch the video or whatever. I've just read a bunch of articles about it and heard some people talk about it. But I know the basics of this are just crazy. So there was this couple. The first part's unconfirmed because it's not on video. It's just like what they were saying, but I don't think there's much disagreement about what happened between the two sides. But apparently there was a white couple in Chipotle. They were walking out as a black family was walking in. The woman, like, accidentally bumps into, like, the teenage daughter, right? And then they start demanding that she apologize, this family, which apparently had multiple adults in it. Like, they start demanding that she apologize. Now, I don't know if she said, excuse me. I don't know what she said at that point, but basically they start yelling at her. Mm-hmm. So her and her husband just start walking to their car to get away, trying to exit the situation, right?
Right.
And then, so they go, basically, and I don't know the specifics, but they initially went to get in their car. The black family runs, and it's, I don't, like, there are multiple adults, so this is, like, They run behind the car to prevent them from leaving. Start
to hear about this.
Beating on the back of the car and demanding they get out and apologize, saying stuff like they're going to beat their ass and, you know, just generally intimidating. One of them, either the husband or wife, gets out of the car and was like, listen, I'm sorry that you felt like that was a racial thing, and I'm sorry for whatever happened to you to make you perceive things that way, but that's not what that was. I didn't mean it. And so, again, the way that person was speaking seems like, you know, maybe they did say excuse me or whatever they did. So anyway, they continue to just kind of surround them and scream at them to apologize and call them racists and all this stuff. So now there's a group of people surrounding them, and one of the guys I was listening to said they had 2 kids in the car, like the white couple did.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked into that. I don't know that for sure. So then the woman pulls out a gun, right, and she's like, "Back up." And then the girl's mom starts walking towards her, and she says, "Back up." And so at that point they kind of disperse, and people are yelling, "Trying to shoot me, run us over, whatever." And so they then get in the car and leave the scene or whatever.
Yeah.
Nothing's happened. They have, other than maybe an initial bump, which is unconfirmed,
Right.
and that nothing has happened other than them threatening their lives, the black family threatening their lives, beating on the car, impeding them from leaving,
Right.
Threatening them, all that stuff,
Yeah,
right?
What is that when you hold someone, detaining someone unlawfully?
Yeah, I mean, kidnapping. I don't know,
Yeah. So all that happens, and now the white couple, the man and the woman, are being charged with felony assault. Now,
For the bump or the pulling out the gun?
I don't know for sure. But even if it is the bump, the man didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And they beat on the back of their car. So, that kind of shit is terrifying.
Yeah.
Because it's placating to a mob, and now there is no rule of law. There is no... If you're going to call that assault, you can't call assault when somebody accidentally bumps into somebody. Or, you're going to have...
Even if they're claiming that, they tried to run me over with their vehicle, you can't call that assault when
you're holding them
I'm
hostage.
trying to leave a place and you're standing in my vehicle's way.
No one can detain someone.
And you're not moving.
You can't impede my travel.
Yeah. And so it's...
And what's scary about it, so CBS News, this is how they write the headline: white couple arrested after gun pulled on black mother and daughters in Michigan. And then it says, a white couple in Michigan was arrested Thursday after a video showed the woman pointing a gun at a black mother and her daughters in a restaurant parking lot, authorities said. The white couple was charged with felonious assault. The video, which has been viewed nearly 13 million times, shows the white woman shouting, "Get the fuck back," while pointing her gun at the woman filming the incident, who urges others to call the police. It's unclear what sparked the confrontation outside the Chipotle in Orion Township, but officials said they were investigating. So, this is how they frame this shit. And what's funny, and I heard another guy talking about this, he's like, if you go down to the comments and, people start... if you go to the video of it happening and people actually watch the whole video, they'll be like, oh, shit. The black family was in the wrong. They were just trying to get out of there.
Right.
That's... the majority of the comments underneath people that have watched it. But then, if you go to one of these news articles that doesn't link to the video and somebody says, go watch the video, people underneath that comment will say, no, fuck that. I don't care what the video is. Yeah. Fuck the context. You know,
exactly.
It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
It is fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's insane.
I wonder what the laws are, and would you say it was Michigan?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have stand your ground laws? Because if they do, those white folks probably come out on top on all that.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends.
If you have stand your ground laws, they have the right to kill those people.
Yeah,
your life is in danger. You feel like it is. They're approaching you, especially when you've drawn a weapon and said, "Get away from me."
If the
and
DA
they keep moving
is
forward,
under pressure by the city to, all of, especially up in the north right now, but all in the whole country really, all of these people are under tremendous amount of pressure and they're being under a microscope as well, and so they're doing crazy, wild things and saying crazy things. I read something the other day of some DA and some of the shit she was saying, and I was just like, what the fuck? They're going completely against the law to bend to these whims of this mob, essentially, just because they're afraid of being branded as racist or you know, whatever.
It's crazy, man. It's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. The other thing about all of this that pisses me off is that they're calling all these people anarchists.
Yeah.
And it infuriates me because they're not anarchists.
No.
They don't know anything about anarchy. And that's another thing that the government is completely terrified of, is true, real anarchy.
Yeah.
And because they are, anybody that causes any bit of chaos, they're anarchists.
Yeah.
Including Fox News, including CNN.
yeah.
Oh, Fox
all
News is terrible.
They're the worst about it.
constantly calling all these people anarchists. And it is... I want to scream when I fucking see it. You know what I mean? Because I've talked to certain people about anarchy, and then they'll come back and say, oh, well, Trump's calling all these people that are doing this shit anarchists, so what do you think about that? Or like, how is that not anarchy, right? And it's like, because it has nothing to do with anarchy.
Well,
Like,
that's
destroying property
Yeah.
is not a part of an anarchist.
It's nowhere.
Anything.
It's nowhere
It's
in there.
nowhere in it.
And
You
that's
know what I mean?
and that's the reason. I like Tim Pool so much. I think he is sincere and at least trying to be unbiased and like his personal views. I'm sure I disagree on it, a lot of the
Right.
stuff, but like that stuff. That's exactly my point. You can't tell me that these people don't know what anarchists believe, because Tim Pool, he was like, I keep telling everybody this isn't anarchists. I know anarchists. He goes, they are non-violent people.
Absolutely.
They want to just be left alone, and they want to leave other people alone. Now they believe in defending themselves,
Absolutely.
but they do not want to go burn buildings down and do all that stuff.
And the thing is, I saw a meme the other day that was like, and it kind of pertains to that. Like, it said something like, "Wait until the people who just want to be left alone start getting involved."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because when that happens, it's not going to be good for the people that are acting like fools. You know what I mean? And that's the truth. I mean, that's the fucking truth. And those are the anarchists. Like, the people that want to be left alone to just be free, those are fucking anarchists.
Well,
you
what
know?
they're doing, and especially with the Michigan, you were redefining what assault is by saying that they assaulted them.
Yeah.
You can't assault somebody by not touching them.
Exactly.
And trying to leave a heated, like, if you haven't hurt somebody, you haven't destroyed property, and you're trying to remove yourself from a heated situation that could get worse and could turn into violence, that is the opposite of assault.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you're now charging them with assault because of their skin color or whatever it is.
Yep.
Like, what's going to happen is, like, there will be no more respect for the law, because I mean, I lost respect for it a long time ago because I've seen this shit happen. But when you put that on, you know, the 9 o'clock news in everybody's face, they're going to start thinking, why the fuck am I paying taxes?
Yeah.
Why I'm not going to live in a place where I am treated differently just based on my political ideology, my religion, my skin color, whatever it is. You know, when the law clearly doesn't apply.
No.
Like, it's not even now. It feels like a corner's been turned with this shit, because before, like, I mean, we all knew if you were related to a judge or a cop or whatever, you might be treated differently or whatever. But now it's just like, no, fuck you. We'll call assault what we want to call assault, and you know,
now you're just a victim of the system, right? Like, you're a victim of like you were saying, they're under a microscope, so they're not following any laws, especially constitutional laws, which are really the only ones that matter. So yeah, I mean, you're gonna have a lot, like you said, you're gonna have a lot more people that are going, fuck all this. You know? And I don't know, man. They keep pushing what they're pushing. It's gonna get ugly. Because, I mean, honestly, in that same situation, like, if I'm going to spend the rest of my life in prison or something over some bullshit, like, I'm taking as many folks out as I can before I get there. You know what I mean? Like, and people are gonna look at it that way. They're going to, you know, because, like, what else do you have to lose? They're taking your life away from you, for no reason. So I'm not gonna just go die for no reason. I'm gonna fucking take out as many people as I can.
Yeah.
You know, but then you'll be some sort of fucking, I don't know, example of, like, look, this guy believed this shit, you know, and you'll perpetuate the fucking problem, but still, like, I don't...
Well, enough people, it's just going to be, it's like you said, when people that just want to be left alone start getting involved, like, it is going to be bad, because that's what this woman was. Mm-hmm. And eventually, it's going to get heated to the point where that gun gets shot.
Yep.
And that person would be in the right.
Yep.
Like,
but according to the new world, like, they're gonna...
The new world order, you could say.
You could. You could.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to just lay low. But the other thing, like we said originally, is that in our day-to-day, we do not experience what the media is fucking portraying.
Yeah.
So maybe there's enough people out there in just the reality of the situation that aren't feeling like what the media is pushing. And so maybe you won't have as much of this bullshit happening. You know what I mean? And you will occasionally, but I think for the most part, most of us are just going to continue to go do what we do. We're going to have interactions with different races, and it's fucking fine because we all just are people and we get along, and
Yeah.
it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? It's really not. In reality, it's really not. They're causing this problem.
Oh, yeah.
They're perpetuating this problem.
Yeah.
And the few that buy into it will cause problems. The problem with that is that the ones that buy into it and cause problems are going to have victims, and those victims will be the people who don't buy it. But because, your DAs and all of them are under such a microscope, like you were saying, they're going to do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Because the media is watching.
Yeah.
And it's bogus as fuck. It really is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how any of us stop any of this stuff unless we really back each other. And I don't know how. That's the other thing. That means that, like, if it's even not our neighbor who's getting under the microscope of all this bullshit, like, we should back them. Those people we should back. You know what I mean? We should be there protesting that, right? We should be there at the courthouse. There should be thousands of people show up going, no, you're not going to arrest these people. You're not going to call that assault. That's bullshit. Well, if we don't support each other, we will fucking fall.
Well, the other side of that coin is, too, like, they don't... They hijack all these narratives before you can do it. So, like, as a white person or whatever, if the George Floyd thing happened and you guys wanted to go protest police brutality and that incident, I'll be right there with you. Mm-hmm. But when you start saying, I know he did it because he's a racist, no, you fucking don't.
Right.
You have no information on that guy.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't know if George Floyd was fucking his wife. You don't know if
Sure.
Derek was fucking his wife. You have no idea what's going on, and you don't know what's going on in his head. And to say this is just another example of the white system, you lose any kind of unity.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah, probably the most noble thing somebody could do is somehow put something together where you could get some type of a group or co-op of people that are willing to say, no, this isn't racist, and all the white people, black people, Hispanic, whatever, we're all going to come together and say, no.
No.
We're going to stand together and say, this is bullshit. The government, the media, like, honestly, and I don't think they should do this either because I don't think riots or property destruction is right, but if you wanted to fucking burn something down, fucking burn the media down.
Yeah.
They're the worst. Even because it's just an arm of the government at this point. And they're terrible, and they're the ones, every freaking headline of that one, including Fox News, CNN, they're all exactly the same. White couple pulls a gun on black family, is arrested.
Yep.
That's a bullshit headline for what happened there.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, I mean, I don't know. Our biggest enemy right now is the media.
Yeah.
Because they create the narratives. They create the reality, the false reality of what's happening in the world. And if we didn't have them, like I said, we wouldn't know any of this shit was even happening. Because in our reality, the real world, it's not happening. There really isn't any racial tension between us. You know what I mean? Like, I encounter all sorts of people every day, and there's no one's talking about this. No one's even mentioning what they've seen on the news. Like, it's just a pleasant interaction, and business takes place, and
we're all fine.
You know, like, none of this would even exist without the media.
Yeah.
None.
And if people don't fucking realize that is, like, that's the problem. Like, I don't know I don't know how you fucking fix it.
And it's
you know
complete
what I mean? Like,
bullshit too, because like that's, I can take my kid to a place where he's the only white kid there, and he doesn't care. No. He's just playing with other kids because he doesn't know anything different.
Yep.
But my 7-year-old the other day comes up to me and goes, Dad, what's Black Lives Matter? Why do I keep seeing that on everything? And I got to fucking explain to him this shit. And guys, y'all are perpetuating this by putting
Yeah.
that on fucking
Right.
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So my kid can get on there and see that bullshit.
Yep.
And then come ask me that.
Exactly. When he never even thought twice about
No.
anything like that. I mean,
And if
that's
it
not
wasn't for
even
the
something
media,
that-
he wouldn't.
He wouldn't.
He wouldn't have a category of
No.
people being different because of like their skin color or
No.
any of that. But y'all are the ones keeping it going.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Which I don't think we should ignore the differences between ourselves. I think that is also something that's wrong. I mean, I think that we should not sit there and be like, oh, we're all colorblind. Like, that's bullshit, right? Like, that's stupid. Nobody's fucking colorblind. We all fucking see the differences between actual skin color and cultural differences, but that's fine. Like, that's what freedom is about, right? Is that you have the freedom to go do what you want to do here while I go do what I want to do here, and we don't mess with each other.
Yeah.
And we can even take from each other's cultures the parts that are good and implement them in our own lives, and then we're all better, right? Like, that's the beauty of the United States. This place does have so many different cultures, and all cultures have certain good things, and all cultures have certain bad things. So take the good, discard the bad, and we can all be a better fucking people, right?
But is
Like,
that? But yeah, like
so being colorblind is a bad thing too.
No.
Like, people say that shit, and it's like, don't be an idiot. No, you're not colorblind.
Well, no,
you know
but
what I mean. That's dumb.
if the media and everybody and the government and all these politicians weren't promoting this, though, would it be any different than like, are you ever scared that a kid's gonna grow up hating people with black hair? Like, would it be any different than that
Right.
shit? Because I understand that the culture's a little bit different, but shit, man, the culture's different, way different here in Memphis than it will be if you go over to the UK and most people are white. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
think that it would be a thought in their head any more than skin color or eye color, or any of that, or I mean, hair color, eye color,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Like, it would be the same type deal, but the media is the one that is perpetuating.
Yep. It's all by design. Don't play the game. That's it. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate that people are suckered in by it, you know?
Yeah. Well, and like, and even the stuff that they use where they're like, these are racist things to say when you're trying not to be racist. Like when everyone's like, I'm not racist, I have black friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand the point somebody's trying to make when they say that. Like, I voluntarily hang out with black people because I like some of them.
Right.
You know, just
Yeah.
like I like some white people.
Yeah. I don't like all white people.
No.
I'm not friends
I
with
hate
all white people.
most white people.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm friends with a few
I
white
hate
people.
most people in general.
Yeah.
And then there's some good ones out of any
Yeah.
and every race that if I meet them and they're good, then I'll be fine with them.
Sure. Yeah.
And
I
it's
mean,
like,
values
listen-
have to line up. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like, that's it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, what's funny is like, there are two things that'll make me not want to be around you: a big moral failing, or just being fucking annoying. Like,
Yeah.
and most people annoy me, but I'll tell you what, I'm much more likely to get annoyed by a white person than I am a black person.
oh yeah.
Like, just in general, I'm not talking about any kind of, just an, on base level, you're
Yeah.
pissing me off because of the way you're acting.
Yeah. 100%.
I don't know why that is, but
White people suck and have no culture.
on that note,
Yeah, I mean,
please don't take us down YouTube. Listen,
that's right. You hear what he said?
Yeah.
White people suck and have no culture.
Yep.
We should be able to stay up forever for just that one phrase.
That's right.
Yeah, there's nothing you can say anything negative about white people. It's fine.
Yeah. You guys know that Project Veritas, like, they had like a screen grab, and I don't know if this was in the actual Facebook terms and agreements or whatever, or if it was the guy that, or the girl that he was like getting information from that worked there as a monitor for it. But basically, they have something in writing that they took a picture of that says the only time hate speech is allowed on this platform is if it's directed at a white male. Yeah. Fuck you, Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, that's,
What did I ever do to you?
yeah. Just over here trying to live my
Just
life.
been using your platform for years, you know,
Yeah.
helping you out. Fucking assholes.
Fuck the Zuck.
Apparently, if you say that Mark Zuckerberg looks like a lizard, you're an anti-Semite.
Is he?
Because all Jews look like lizards?
Yeah, apparently.
What the fuck?
Now they're saying that the reptilian theory is a anti-Semitic theory that was started by the Nazis in Germany.
Oh.
Was it?
I don't think so.
Can't be. Started by David Icke.
Here's something interesting about David Icke. Not really about David Icke, but it has something to do with him. And I thought about this earlier, but I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him, but there's a video game streamer. His name's Dr. Disrespect. He plays a character, and he's got glasses and like a fake mustache and a wig, and he's always wearing that on stream. And he does this thing, right? And he's a very popular streamer on Twitch. Has been for years, and a week or two ago, I could be getting that wrong, but he was like streaming and he got like a text and was like, "Oh shit, like I think they're banning me," or so. I haven't watched the video. He said something like that, and then like right before his stream gets cut off, he says, "You guys go look up David Icke's stuff," and then his stream cuts off. And apparently he had been talking about how like he thought COVID was bullshit, and like he had been talking about David Icke in a couple streams like previously to that, and Twitch just banned him permanently for no reason, gave him no explanation whatsoever. He can't use their platform at all, and he's been on there for as long as they've been around, probably.
That's really weird.
Yeah, but I was just like, that's crazy, and I thought it was kind of cool that he like was shouting out David Icke on his stream. I mean, he has like what's kind of weird is like probably like 50% or more of his followers are like 9 years old, 9, 10, 11. You know, like they probably shouldn't be looking at David Icke stuff.
Young. No, you got it. Look. There's no age for learning the truth.
I don't know if everything David Icke says is the truth. I wouldn't necessarily.
He wears a certain color blue shirt because he thinks it brings him the right kind of vibes from the universe.
Give him that.
See, I am more likely to believe that from him than some of the other things that he says.
Like what?
Just some of the like reptilian things. Like he's full on with that.
Oh yeah.
Who knows, dude?
I'm not, and that's the thing is he doesn't. Neither do I.
But How do you know he doesn't?
He claims he does.
Who knows?
Maybe
you don't know what he knows.
That's true. I don't. Well,
you can know something and not be able to prove it.
I saw Prince Andrew's eyes go from fucking regular to cat eyes on an interview when he was talking about.
I'll give you
when he was.
And see, that's
being interviewed
that
about
was
his
my whole
pedophilia
thing
stuff.
About the
lizard eyes.
The reptilian conspiracy theory is anti-Semitic is like the main target, like pretty much the person that people go to whenever that's
the royal
mentioned
family.
Is that the Queen of England is a lizard.
Yeah,
like that's the main target of that whole conspiracy theory. And last time I checked, I don't think she was Jewish.
No.
So that whole thing was just fucking dumb.
Ridiculous.
We need to, for the future of this podcast, it's probably really disturbing how many times we start talking about something and say, now I haven't watched the video. Why can't we fucking watch the video before we start popping off about this shit?
I don't know. We probably should
quit so lazy as fuck.
Yeah,
we know.
Damn it. Just the slightest bit of effort. Fuck.
It'll never happen.
Yeah, you're right. It would help though. Well, anyways, we gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right. On next week's episode, we're gonna talk about how Trump's a rapist.